You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, GH fans. It is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I have 5 things that I think are going to happen to Nina Reeves after this SEC reveal. Right now on GH, the countdown to the reveal that she is the one that called the SEC on Drew and Carly is on. The countdown is happening. GH False Spoilers said the truth would come out. With Sonny evading federal charges, of course, because he set the whole thing up, there is some backlash from Nina at Sonny. No doubt she's going to be upset that he didn't tell her about what he was planning. You know, she was really freaked out and thought he was going to go away to do hard time, but it was all part of the big plan to expose the person targeting him and possibly targeting Anna. But after this scare, it looks like Nina and Sonny are going to fast track their wedding plans, and that means the big reveal is going to come sooner rather than later. So these are fall spoilers, but bear in mind, fall runs from Saturday, September 23rd, all the way through December. Do you know that winter doesn't technically start until 4 days before Christmas? I did not know that. So these spoilers could be for any time, but we suspect they are going to be sooner. So once Nina is exposed, presumably by Nettie getting back his memories, we have a few things we think are going to happen to her once everyone in Port Charles knows that she narked on Carly and Drew, and she's going to pay the price. Let's talk about this. But hey, if you haven't already, please reach down and click subscribe so you don't miss any of our General Hospital updates. So real quick, I just want to recap the actual crimes that were committed, because I've noticed in the comments that a fair amount of people don't think that Drew committed a crime, but he did. And they somehow seem to think that Nina committed a crime, but she didn't. So just real quick, the specific law that Drew and Carly broke is Securities and Exchange Commission's Rule 10b-5, if you want to look it up for yourself. It says that corporate officers cannot use confidential corporate information to reap a profit or avoid a loss by trading in the company's stock. This rule also prohibits tipping confidential corporate information to third parties, and it prevents that third party from using that info. Drew was a corporate officer of Aurora Media, and by telling Carly that he was planning to take the company public, he broke Rule 10b-5. The second he uttered those words to her, he broke the law, even if she didn't do anything with it. It may seem strange, but them's the facts, people. And then Carly broke the law by using the insider info she got from Drew to make stock purchases with the clear and stated intent to help Michael and Drew make more money when the company went public. She knew she was doing wrong when she did it. If you look back at those episodes, Martha Stewart went to prison for less than what Carly did, okay? And that's why Carly was slapped with a $5 million fine that they abruptly stopped mentioning. It's a dropped plot thread at this point. And in fact, $5 million is the maximum fine for an instance of insider trading. So as for Drew, he could have gotten 20 years, but he only got 3. And it's interesting that they think that the punishment was unnecessarily harsh when it was, like 80% less than it could have been. Less than 80%. All right. That being said, no one is going to care that Drew and Carly are guilty once they find out Nina was the one who ratted them out. Instead, all eyes in Port Chuck are going to turn on Nina as the villain of this story, despite Carly being warned by both Drew and Michael not to meddle, not to get involved, not to mess around with stuff. But let's look at what is coming Nina's way when her betrayal is revealed. The first thing I believe is going to happen is Sonny is going to dump her at the altar. Sonny Corinthos has a zero tolerance policy for narcs. You might remember he once dumped Brenda Barrett when he found out she wore a wire and recorded him. And in fact, Sonny might be less angry if Nina had betrayed him directly. I think he's actually going to be much angrier that Nina targeted Carly, the mother of some of his kids, some of his many, many kids. No matter how Nina Reeves begs, pleads, and tries to justify her actions, I cannot imagine that Sonny is going to forgive her or take her back. He might not even look at her twice again after this reveal. I think he's going to give her the ultimate cold shoulder. But Sonny dumping her, likely on their wedding day, is perhaps just the tip of the iceberg that Nina is going to face. It might feel at the time like the worst thing, but I think it might be the least of the bad things coming her way before all is said and done. The second thing I see happening is Willow Tait walking away and not looking back at Nina once. So as a result of this SEC reveal, I definitely think Nina is going to lose Willow. It's been a long day, y'all. So Willow sees Carly as a mother figure already, and she has only kind of grudgingly accepted her bio mom Nina into her and Wiley's lives. And don't forget, in addition to her being very bonded with Carly, Willow is very bonded with Drew. She sees Drew Cain as a quasi-father figure. She asked him to walk her down the aisle, but he was off finding Liesl Obrecht so she could donate bone marrow to save Willow's life. So Willow is going to be absolutely disgusted by what Nina did and how it impacted the people she loves, Drew and Carly. And Michael too, honestly. And if Willow thought for 1 second about forgiving Nina, Michael's going to be right there to reinforce, no, you cut her out of your life. She did my mom dirty, even though, I mean, I think we can agree that to some extent, Carly brought this on herself by scheming and plotting and knowingly breaking the law. But none of that's going to matter once everybody finds out that Nina was the one who told the SEC. All right, the third thing is Carly is going to just do a victory lap around Nina, very smug, and she's going to make sure that everybody knows what Nina did. Carly is going to be in fine form once this all comes out. You guys know how snarky and smug Carly can be. That's kind of her raison d'etre. It's the reason she exists, is just to get in people's faces and be a bee. So she's going to be in Nina's face. She's going to chew her a new one. She's barely polite to Nina as it is. And remember the other day at Kelly's, Carly vowed to Nina, it's been like 3 weeks ago maybe, she vowed to Nina, I'm going to get back everything I lost. Yeah, that's happening, people. The only thing Carly might not want back is Sonny, but she wants the rest back. Her hotel, her peace of mind, not having to know that Nina is spending time around Donna or Willow. And Carly is going to make sure that every last person in Port Charles knows that Nina did what she did. And not for one moment is Carly going to further acknowledge her own guilt in this situation once she knows it was Nina and she can pile everything on her doorstep. I cannot even begin to imagine the ongoing nastiness we are going to see with Carly coming at Nina hard, to her face, behind her back, to everybody that will listen once this all comes out. All right, the fourth thing I see happening is that Nina is going to lose Crimson. I think she's definitely going to lose Crimson. If you don't recall the ownership, last I checked, Drew Cain and Jasper Jacks co-own Crimson Magazine. Okay, Nina Reeves is the editor-in-chief of Crimson, but not the owner. And the guy who owns Crimson is someone sitting in jail for committing insider trading with Carly. And it's a crime that would have gone under the radar if not for Nina turning them in. So once he finds out that Nina had Martin Gray make the report to the SEC, I'm guessing Carly is going to pressure him to fire Nina and hire a new editor-in-chief if he's even hesitating a bit. I definitely think that's going to happen. Of course, Carly and Drew are guilty of the crime, but that doesn't mean they won't punish Nina for him having to do the time for the crime. Nina's going to face a lot of punishments, and this is one of the big ones, but not nearly as big as as losing Sonny and Willow. But there's more to come. The last thing I see happening is I think Nina is going to be forced to sell back her half of the Metro Court. So left to her own devices, especially if she gets the boot from Crimson, I think Nina would want to keep the hotel to have something and also to keep it from Carly. She might want to hang on to the one thing that she owns, but I could see her facing a lot of animosity if she does. Olivia Falconeri has gradually warmed up to Nina. She's even helping her plan her wedding. But she is going to be furious that Nina let Ned be suspected of the SEC report. And I imagine that Olivia is also going to blame Nina on Ned being so worked up that he ran out to the pool, conked his head, and then woke up as Eddie Main. I fully think that Olivia and Carly are going to blame Nina for that too. Technically, that's not Nina's fault, but I'm sure she's going to be blamed for it. And Sonny might tell her, look, you sell that hotel back so Carly can have it. He'll maybe even pay for it, or else. I think he's going to offer to pay her back what she paid to have it, and then it's going to be done and dusted. So I've got one more thing to say about the fallout that's headed for Nina. But first, if you haven't already, please reach down and click subscribe so you don't miss any of our GH updates. If you're enjoying hearing about all the pain and suffering that Nina is about to endure, click a like and definitely drop a comment. Is there anything I missed? Is there anything else you think that Nina is going to lose when this all comes out? So the 5 things that I suspect Nina is going to lose: Sonny and access to his kids that she adores, access to her daughter Willow, losing her job at Crimson, losing the Metro Court, and any peace of mind once Carly is done with her. But what I want to know from you guys, which of these things do you think is going to hit Nina the hardest? Or is there something else that you think should happen to her? Just real quick, before you suggest that she should be sent to jail, as a reminder, Nina did not break any laws. In fact, in the eyes of the law, she did a public service by exposing a crime. So please don't drop in the comments that Nina is headed for prison. That is not happening. She broke no laws, okay? That doesn't mean she's not going to really regret it soon, because I think she did. I suspect that Nina's life is about to become truly miserable. She's going to feel unloved, hated by everybody in Port Charles, and then what's next? Let me know if there's something else you think that's going to happen to Nina. Don't tell me jail. It's not happening. But anything besides for the other stuff on the list. Is there anything else that I forgot to mention that she's going to lose? Let me know in the comments. I love your guys' comments and I read them all. Thank you so much for listening to all of this. This has been Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.